bringing you our weekly segment of The Adventurer. And this week, we focus on sculpting. Is the ancient art that has withstood the test of time. This week on The Adventurer, KTN's Noah Kipkemboi explores the world of metallic sculptures and how it can be a money-making venture. Take a look.
Today, The Adventurer is in Ruai. And guess what? We are focusing on art. Being African, art is second to our nature. Question is, what material do we use to make our art? Well, today's focus will be on metallic art. Working with metal, you have to be properly prepped and dressed for the occasion. Today, guess what? We're gonna do what? We're gonna shine a light to the local art scene, local metallic scene. This seems like an Olympic light. Well, let's run into this art scene, shall we? For 3 years, Boaz Metal Art has been perfecting the art of sculpting from metal.
You are able to use scrap, old metal, the metal that an ordinary person will dismiss and throw away as waste. But in our case, we have a concept of changing that metal, and we transform it through a mechanical engineering fabrication, and we come up with a very good and smart and beautiful sculpture.
Initially, the business used to do normal gates and other conventional metal fabrication works.
Nelson Bogwa and another young man called Kilonzo came up with a concept where we can use sculptures to beautify our product. For example, a gate. But when we started making those, we noted on their own they were beautiful and they can be good product to sell. So we did not merge our sculpture with the gates. We started developing sculptures on their own.
So, how does one manage to make these massive pieces of art?
The first thing we do is to get the actual sizes. We transfer that scale into our sheet of paper, which is our etching paper. Then we drew it just the same way it appears on the picture. Then we transfer it from the etching paper onto a sheet of metal. And then we drew it. From the sheet of metal, then we use very simple tools and we etch it all around. We mark all the drawings as drawn so that when we start forming, the metal will take the shape as you hit it. Actually, that's the code forging process. So once we hit it with our tools very well, we get the actual size of exactly what we got from our etching paper.
When all parts are ready, we assemble them and we confirm that the sizes are matching, then we weld. After welding, we do the grinding. The other part is treatment, painting. We use the normal paint that we buy from the normal hardwares. So there is nothing that is imported. We don't use fiber, we don't use plastic, we don't use polymer, we don't use wood. Ours is specifically metal and a big part waste metal.
Sculpting for a long time has been synonymous with wood, though metal is offering an advantage.
To make an elephant this size, using wood, you need to cut a very huge tree. Our concept one is conserving the environment. The moment you use this kind of trees, you are damaging our environment. Secondly, even if you are allowed, the size, the physical size of this animal, if you use wood, it will be more than 20 times weight. So it will be very bulky and very heavy. But when you use metal, one is very light, and also is very easy to carve. The other thing, most people now are using the fiberglass. Fiberglass is toxic. And after a period, when you expose it to atmospheric attack, it deteriorates progressively and it's become very dangerous. So in our case, we are trying to do something that can fight that. So it's unhealthy, it's also degrading our environment, and in our case, actually we are conserving our environment by collecting the scrap metal that could have gone to the environment, then we convert it into very beautiful art.
Mbugwe tells me the potential market for these sculptures is available, ranging from the tourism sector to county governments.
And we had managed to train people, make very beautiful samples. Then we had a very big impact. Corona came in. All the event was stopped by the government, and that is where we wanted to display our product. So it became very tricky.
For many individuals, these sculptures are exciting, but does that translate to a purchase?
A customer, for example, for the household, for individuals at homes, compounds, the concept of art has not grown to that level. They have come here to see the animals. They are very impressed. They want to take photos. But when we come to discuss about the price, it has become very tricky, because to make an elephant like this, you take 2 months. It's being done by 2 artisans or 2 artists. The price of this, the labor concept is very high. And the price ended up becoming 200,000. For an individual, 200,000 is a huge amount if we are taking it for beautification.
Tourism is a critical component of our national heritage. Ooh, yes, but also tourism is critical, a source of income. And these sculptures actually can help market that identity, kind of water that tourism environment to make it more vibrant. Well, I have to leave the water side. The workforce at Boaz Metal Art is young. George Mwangi has been fabricating metal for 3 years now. He says there are employment opportunities for the youth in this sector.
Na venye wewe mwenyewe unajiweka. Kiamua hakuna job, utasema hakuna job, lakini ukienda kwa grao job ziko. Depending sana venye wewe utajitorea. Unajua pia hii art una benefit. Depending sasa na venye utawaka. Ukiweka nguvu kwa hiyo art utabenefit.
Metallic fabrication to artwork requires maximum concentration, since the final work is a build-up of detailed formations.
But this is a photo that has been done and drawn by somebody. Now, if you take this photo, just hold it here, and compare with this, what I'm now transferring on a sheet of metal, you can tell for sure that this is somebody who's very keen.
Falling under the SME category, Boaz Metal Art needs support to survive in the local market.
The micro industries are able to support this manufacturing pillar. We only need to get the market, for example, our product, which is unique, also to get recognized so that we can nurture the art from the artists and the artisans. Here, for example, in Roy, where we stay, we have very talented guys, very talented artists, but they spend a lot of their time loitering here, some taking alcohol, because they have nowhere to nurture this talent, and there is no job market.
Metal has proven to be quite durable, and also you can get different parts of it and actually weld them together. Well, it's high time that we bring and shine a light on the metallic art sector in the country. It has so much potential that has been untapped. Now, keep Kimboy for the adventurer in Ruai for KTN News.